Hey y'all, so I got to check out The Witch's Redemption. This is an action RPG medieval style game. I played it on PC. You are playing this character who has to solve this murder mystery. Somebody gets killed, somebody else gets accused of being a witch, and you have to figure out, did this person actually do it? What really happened? And so it's one of those games where you start out with this mystery and then it expands. You have a main mission, but then it'll split into many sub-missions. So there isn't too much with side quests here. There are some little errands and stuff you can run, but most of the quests you're doing all tie back to the main story. So what the game does is pretty much from the get-go give you 2 to 3 missions, and you can do them in any order you want, really. But eventually you'll do them all to solve the main story and the mission. So this game is a third-person action style game. Normally I would play with controller. Now I tried inputting the controller in, and technically did read my DualSense, but the button maps weren't laid out. The game was recommended just to play mouse and keyboard. So therefore it felt a little wonky to play the style game with mouse and keyboard, and it didn't feel super fun to control. But you know, I managed to kind of get through a few of the missions and get partway into the game. Now, the mystery is interesting because there is different types of areas you go to. You start off in this town, then you go into a forest, and then some sort of church area, and then you kind of go in these caves. So there is a variety of environments there. And the characters do have voiceover to them for a lot of it. Although your main character doesn't talk as much. Now, unfortunately, with this game, it does feel very underdeveloped. This does feel like a game that isn't really ready for release anytime soon, and so I felt like this game could use a lot of work in the state that it's in. Graphically, a lot of stuff was popping up as I was moving. The frame rates weren't great. The combat was pretty mediocre, I felt like. There is a lock-on system that you can use to swing your sword around, but it works really weird. Half the time I'm missing, especially when multiple enemies are around. It's really tough to get through because you would think your sword would hit all these enemies and it doesn't. So it's very frustrating. There was not a lot of ability to even upgrade my character. I was just given a weapon of a sword, and then the game shows me, oh, you have 4 different potions: a health, magic, stamina, and then a way to increase your attack power temporarily. And that's kind of what you had. And you see these button layouts on the screen the whole time as you're going through. So for traveling, you're in kind of sandbox zones, and then you have a horse you can travel to between each zone. But there really isn't a map, so it can get really lost and confusing, especially when I was in the marsh area and I had to go find this creature to kill. I got really lost and confused on where I was supposed to go. And there's no fast traveling back. You have to go and walk your way all the way back to where you started to then take the horse to fast travel somewhere else. So it became really tedious and frustrating for me. It took me several tries to get just a simple boss down, and even when I got to this werewolf boss later on, it felt so overpowered because I was trying to knock it down and it had really tough attacks that would knock down a lot of my health, and then it would have these other little mini wolves come after me, and it felt very overwhelming.